Namaste, angels. This is going to be the general weekly reading for today, Sunday, February 18th through next Saturday, February 24th. This reading is sponsored by Kimberly Jones and Emily May Rosario, two of my Patreon subscribers. Speaking of Patreon subscribers, very, very funny and very quick story. I understand, like, YouTubers in this arena, tarot and stuff, all over are suddenly moving some of their work to Patreon. I found it very interesting that somehow I'm always like the trendsetter and enemy number one and all this, and I'm just here minding my own business with my very like specific group of subscribers and stuff, and somehow I have so much impact. Everybody wants to do what I'm doing, and it's very interesting. But I understand that quite a few are doing this, even like, larger, very large subscribership people, and a self-proclaimed witch and everything, which is very, very interesting. If they've been following my moves and whatnot, because who knows what they could have been trying to do. In any case, that's what's going on with that. And this is our weekly reading. I'm going to begin with, let's see. Well, let's begin with some astrology. Quickly get that out of the way. So on the 15th, we had a new moon in Aquarius. I described in 3 videos last week, the new moon video that I did, and the love reading and the general reading, what my feelings were about the new moon in Aquarius. So I won't go into that again now. You can check out one of those, or, all of those if you haven't seen them, and find out what my sentiments about that were. On the 16th, we had a partial solar eclipse, and it was Chinese New Year. So we exited the year of the fire rooster and entered the year of the dog. And that may have some impact upon us, depending upon what one follows. So I guess I jumped past the 11th. I should have began with the 11th, which is the day that Venus entered Pisces. Yesterday, the 17th, Mercury also entered Pisces. And Mars is still in Sagittarius, Jupiter still in Scorpio, Lilith, or Black Moon Lilith specifically, still in Capricorn, Saturn still approaching retrograde in Capricorn, Pluto still approaching retrograde in Capricorn. Both will actually be in retrograde in April. A lot of people were having problems with their electronics during the solar eclipse yesterday. Mercury is not in retrograde. Thankfully, it doesn't even begin to approach its retrograde into its shadow until March 8th. So we still got some time there. When it does, it will be retrograde in Aries. I think that's it. So let me tell you a little bit about Mercury in Pisces, actually. And this is not from the top of my head. This is from www.tarot.com. Mercury in Pisces, creative, intuitive, magical. When Mercury enters this fantastical sign of Pisces, our dreams become more vivid, our thoughts are looser, and our instincts are especially strong. Mercury is the mental planet that rules our thoughts and communication style. While this focus on data and details doesn't naturally align with Pisces' widespread, all-inclusive style, there are so many ways to enrich our lives during this transit. Pisces thrives in a world of magic, fantasy, and idealism. While Mercury is here, our minds are more open and we can find solutions in places we haven't considered before. Mercury in Pisces shines a light on the furthest reaches of our minds to illuminate fresh ideas, creative inspirations, and different ways of thinking. When Mercury is in Pisces, our minds are never as open wide as they are during Mercury's in Pisces. Pisces thrives in the most vast spaces you can imagine. Think about the unbelievable depths of the ocean or the infinite reaches of space. These are Pisces realms. So while Mercury moves through this sign, our minds are more expanded to this same level of vastness. We can see things we couldn't see before and understand things we couldn't understand before. It's no surprise that some thoughts we have during this transit are beyond words. Our ability to communicate becomes fuzzy here. And some of the things that are happening in our minds are just too big to find words for. This is where our intuition comes in. Pisces is the most intuitive sign of the zodiac. Well, so says these people at tarot.com. I would absolutely disagree. Anyway, and it reminds us to pay close attention to the quote unquote feelings we have in our minds. We know things in ways we can't explain because our subconscious is being triggered more than usual while Mercury is in Pisces. Of course, I mean, they just explained why I totally disagree. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, for one, and which is a mutable sign, just like Pisces, and Gemini, which is a mutable sign, just like Pisces. Only Gemini is every single sign as a mutable sign times 2. That's why if Mercury is in Pisces, if it becomes further intuitive, obviously the sign that Mercury actually rules that has the same capabilities of Pisces as a mutable sign is the most intuitive. That would be Gemini. In any case, we know things in ways we can't explain because our subconscious is being triggered more than usual because Mercury, ruler of Gemini, is in Pisces. Of course, there are also some cons to Mercury in Pisces. There can be miscommunication. That's very possible. And we may have trouble staying on track. We might forget critical ideas, show up late for meetings, or say things that don't quite make sense. But that's not Mercury. That's Neptune that does that, that makes you people foggy. This is because we're speaking from our heart and gut, not our brains, right? We're not using the Mercurian energy. We're using the Neptune energy. Finding the words to match our feelings can make for some seriously stop and start conversations. But overall, Mercury's time in Pisces can bring amazing new opportunities our way. There are no limits during this transit. We're open to all possibilities so we can easily embrace the things that are suddenly inspiring us. The level of promise and potential is high here because we're not focusing on the things that we can't do, but rather the things that we can do. And it goes on to talk about if one's personal Mercury is in Pisces, how that may affect them. So if you want to check that out, please go to that www.tarot.com. And that's where I got it. You know, my personal Mercury is, of course, in Gemini. I'm so air. It's crazy. But yours may be in Pisces. So you may want to find out how it may further affect you other than the general that I just read. As far as the Hebrew calendar this week, there is nothing new on the Hebrew calendar. On the 16th, the same day that was the Chinese New Year and the new moon in Aquarius for some, the month of Adar started, the Hebrew month of Adar, which is the month of joy. So we have all these things going on at the same time. Venus in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, Chinese New Year, month of joy, partial solar eclipse, new moon in Aquarius. That's 6 events. And then we get a bunch more this week because also entering Pisces is, of course, the sun. The first day of Pisces is tomorrow, the 19th. It's 2:22 in the morning right now. And today is a 4 and 11:11, the 18th. But the 19th, the sun would enter Pisces today, the 18th. The 19th is the first official day of the zodiac sign Pisces. I know this very well because my older sister is a Pisces, the beginning on the 19th. Her birthday is on the 19th, Monday. What else? The Christian calendar, I do have something for you guys. There is a feast day on the 22nd, which is Thursday, called the Chair of St. Peter. And I will go to Wikipedia quickly to read you a little bit about what that's about. Chair of St. Peter. The Chair of St. Peter, also known as the Throne of St. Peter, is a relic conserved in St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City, the sovereign enclave of the Pope inside Rome, Italy. The relic is a wooden throne that tradition claims the Apostle St. Peter, the leader of the early Christians in Rome and the first Pope, used as a bishop of Rome. The relic is enclosed in a sculpted gilt bronze casting designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini and was executed between 1647 or 711 or 9 and 1653. In 2012, Pope Benedict XVI described the chair as a symbol of the special mission of Peter and his successors to tend Christ's flock, keeping it united in faith and in charity. The wooden throne was a gift from the Holy Roman Emperor Charles the Bald to Pope John VIII in the year 875. It has been studied many times over the years, the last being from 1968 through 1964, when it was last removed from the Bernini altar. The study concluded that it was not a double, but rather a single chair with a covering, and that no part of the chair dated earlier than the 6th century. The chair is the cathedral. It says the chair is the cathedral. That doesn't make sense. And they must have left the word at out. The chair is at, I'm going to insert, the Cathedral of St. Peter's Basilica. And it is called the cathedra because cathedra is Latin for chair or throne. And this denominates the chair or seat of a bishop. Hence, cathedral denominates the bishop's church in an episcopal setting. The popes formally used the chair, and it is distinct from the papal cathedra in St. John's Archbasilica, also in Rome, which is the actual cathedral church of the Pope. The end. I mean, there's more, but if you want to read more, you can go on. I stopped there, the end. And now I'm going to www.astronomy.com for the sky this week, beginning with today, Sunday, February 18th. Two of the finest deep sky objects shine prominently on February evenings. The Pleiades and the Hyades star clusters appear highest in the south as the darkness falls, but they remain conspicuous until well past midnight. The Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters or M45, looks like a small dipper to the naked eye. The larger Hyades forms the V-shaped head of Taurus the bull. Although both look nice without an optical aid, binoculars show them best. Monday, February 19th. Head outside before dawn and you can't miss Jupiter. The giant planet rises about 12:30 a.m. local time and climbs 30 degrees high in the south by the time twilight commences. Jupiter shines at a magnitude of -2.1, which makes it the brightest point of light in the night sky, and it resides among the much dimmer stars of the constellation Libra. A telescope reveals the planet's 38-inch diameter disk. Tuesday, February 20th, one of the sky's largest asterisms, a recognizable pattern of stars separate from a constellation's form, occupies center stage on February evenings. To trace the so-called winter hexagon, start with southern Orion's luminary Regal. From there, the hexagon makes a clockwise loop. The second stop is brilliant Sirius in Canis Major. Next, pick up Procyon in the faint constellation Canis Minor, then the twins Castor and Pollux in Gemini, followed by Capella in Auriga, Aldebaran in Taurus, and finally back to Regal. Wednesday, February 21st, the dwarf planet Ceres reached opposition and peak visibility in late January, and it remains a fine sight this month. It currently shines at a magnitude of 7.2 and is an easy object to spot through binoculars. The largest member of the asteroid belt resides in the northern part of Cancer the Crab, which appears in the east once darkness falls and climbs highest in the south around 11 p.m. local time. This evening, Ceres lies 0.6 degrees due south of the magnitude 5.7 star Sigma. Thursday, February 22nd, the half-lit moon rides high in the south just after sunset, and then it sinks slowly toward the western horizon throughout the rest of the evening. Our satellite officially reaches its first quarter phase at 3:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. The moon spends the evening hours in western Taurus, not far from the Pleiades and Hyades star clusters. Friday, February 23rd, the waxing gibbous moon lies just east of first magnitude star Aldebaran this evening. Depending on where in North America you live, the gap appears to be 4 degrees or 5 degrees in early evening and grows about 0.5 degrees every hour thereafter. Aldebaran represents the eye of Taurus, the bull, and it appears to mark one tip of the V-shaped Hyades star cluster. In reality, Aldebaran lies only about half as far from Earth as the cluster does. Saturday, February 24th, Mars follows about 2 hours behind Jupiter these winter mornings. The magnitude 0.9 red planet rises shortly after 2 a.m. local time and appears 25 degrees high as twilight starts to paint the sky. It lies against the backdrop of southern Serpent Bearer, and this morning has a close encounter with the 9th magnitude globular star cluster NGC 6287. Astronomers will want to capture the planet as it passes just 15 feet north of the cluster. Unfortunately, the view of Mars through a telescope proves disappointing. Its disk spans only 6 inches and shows no detail. And lastly, Sunday, February 25th, although Saturn passed on the opposite side of the sun from the Earth only 2 months ago, it already appears conspicuous in the southeastern sky before dawn. From mid-northern latitudes, the ring planet lies 15 degrees above the horizon as twilight begins. Saturn shines at a magnitude of 0.6 and appears significantly brighter than any of the background stars in the host constellation Sagittarius, the Archer. And that was the end of that. So I'll go to the dice now, which I typically have on the table, but I don't yet. One sec. I'm beginning with 29, spiritual partnership. It's 50-50 and romantic dinner. I'm laughing because 29 last week turned out for me to mean 29-year-old. Quote unquote young male. Here it is again. 29. So spiritual partnership this week may be arranged via email or initiated via email, perhaps because of Aquarius, the communication sign Aquarius as an air sign, which more directly correlates specifically to electronic communication, at least in my mind. And perhaps that all results in romantic dinner. I hope it does for you. Going to the cards. I'm beginning with the Ace of Air. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation and maybe even a challenging beginning. And opening to the King of Fire, who's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, 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 and communicate with vision. Take advice from someone creative if you get the opportunity. The King of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes of any zodiac sign, and is a representation of the divine masculine in the tarot. Can also be a Scorpio. And I say can also be a Scorpio because Mars, the red planet, also rules Scorpio. And also Jupiter, which is not a red planet, but rules a red or fire sign. The sign of Sagittarius is also in Scorpio. King of Fire, and it might very well be a Scorpio that is in your life or impactful upon your life. Now opening to the King of Water, who's trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured, and could definitely be saying, yes, I'm a Scorpio. That's why I've got both. Otherwise, this can just be any King of Fire, again, of any zodiac sign who's feeling particularly emotional, perhaps, or, you know, and loving and kind and trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Or this could be one or the other. You know, this could be like the masculine energy. This could be the feminine, or vice versa, or other people that are involved and impactful upon the union. In any case, the King of Water tells us to, or guides us to, open our heart and mind to those around us and to trust the advice that we're given. Also for us to be involved in charity work if we're able. And as far as I'm concerned, charity work is love. That's why it's associated with the King of Water. King of Water now on top, and opening to the life experience, which is major arcana card, the Tower in the traditional tarot. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. Something shakes up your life completely. And if it has anything to do with the King of Water, I would say it's being like swept off your feet in a really, really romantic sense, perhaps by a 29-year-old. No, not necessarily, but yeah, but something totally unexpected and like, woo, what's going on here? Tower. I'll go one more. And open to the Seven of Fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground, but choose your battles wisely. Life experience. I'm going to cut. Yes, I did plan to mention or talk about the parties of three that are popping up seemingly all over the place. I mean, we've always had some, and they tend to be particularly on the side of the masculine, but that's not even all I'm talking about. I'm talking about the feminine too. I had planned to go into it, and then I started not to. We'll see. Maybe I'll continue. Right now, I've come. Well, yeah, I guess this is the sign I'm supposed to. I've come to a 3. Major Arcana card number 3, the Empress, which represents the planet Venus and the goddess Venus for me, but the planet Venus, who ruler of Taurus, Libra, and Gemini. Lavish abundance. Give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others. This is all about abundance, but perhaps also about a party of 3. Venus is also the planet of love and abundance, yes, money and popularity. And we can feel particularly, attractive and be particularly attractive when Venus shows up. People just find that people from coming out like of the woodwork and they're attracted to us. Maybe that's my segue. It might be. This can also be about motherhood. It can have to do with one's actual mother, or the fact that you are a mother, or pregnancy, or a good time for you to attempt to get pregnant, all of those applicable. But getting back to the party of 3, yeah. On the side of the female, the feminine, which is not necessarily a female, so I apologize, I meant feminine, gender neutral, just an archetype. A lot of party of 3, more so than had been. And I think a lot of us had worked through a bunch of karma and released a lot of these third energies, but these are new ones that are finding us attractive and that are coming out of the woodwork. Maybe because, it may be connected in part to the fact that the masculine is so caught up with his. And so there's an opportunity for temptation. And I have been thinking that perhaps that aligns with Lenten season, which is a period of 40 days where Jesus Christ is said to have went to spend some time alone. So he was in separation, we'd have to imagine, from his divine feminine too. Mary Magdalene at the time went to spend some time alone in the mountains, and while he was there, was tempted over and over again by the devil to save himself and to not allow himself to be sacrificed and to use his abilities for his own good as opposed to toward humanity. So my point there being, anybody can be tempted, and this is historically a period of temptation. Now, also, I've said many times, to me, this, and I've been saying it since I got on, since I started this, there's been like a memory embedded in me that the sun is a Virgo. It's very clear in the Bible. People don't read the scripture. That's first and foremost. One of my Facebook friends posted today, there was something about Jesus having used cannabis oil and cannabis and whatnot in his healing. And it's absolutely true. It's written in Hebrew, the different oils that he used for his healing. But one, yeah, absolutely translates to cannabis oil. And I said, like, it's there, though. Like, all these things are in the scripture, hidden in plain sight. We talk about Jesus being resurrected, and do we believe it? Do we not believe it? And that, that's kind of neither here nor there. It's up to, a given person to decide what they're going to believe of the scriptures or not, if anything. But people completely miss that it says that other people were resurrected too, the same day. The same time that he was resurrected, other people were resurrected. They call them, quote unquote, saints in the scriptures. And then they walked about with him for the next 40 days. So I don't know how that's all about. That's the whole story of the Pentecost. And I don't know how I got there when I was talking about the temptation and the devil, of how when he encountered, when he first went into the mountains. And I went into the part about the Virgo and the sun, because it seems that that's part of the template. Like, a lot of these parties of three, these potentially, quote unquote, karmic males and masculines that I won't say are to be ignored necessarily. I mean, that's going to depend on one's life. Sometimes there are things, lessons through which we're supposed to go or meant to go. If you think about a divine union, or quote unquote twin flamish kind of movie. Let's say The Notebook, right? She was engaged first. Engaged. She was with another man. There's some of these lessons through which we're supposed to go. You don't spend the whole time necessarily, together. Love and Basketball, he was engaged. She didn't win his heart until the very last 5 minutes of the movie. He had spent time with somebody else. He had other relationships too, in which he was supposed to be involved. And sometimes that's the case here too. Some of them are just temptations and to be avoided. But one thing that I'm finding in talking to the divine feminine, a lot of them that have contacted me, is a majority of these new third parties are Virgos. And even the one that approached me, like I said, the other that I've met, the 29, he's a Libra, like Virgo, a cusp. I have to do some more meditation on this, but it's a thing. There's definitely something to it, and to the fact that I think that it's Lenten season. I'm 99.9% sure that it's all connected, and I have some other stuff that I could say, but I think that I should reserve until I look into a couple more things. But I wanted to put that out there. Like, if you're going through that situation, please do know that it is extremely common right now, and yeah, if he's a Virgo, that there's something to that too. So anyway, the Empress. And I've come to balance with Archangel Zadkiel, which is major arcana card Temperance in the tarot. And Temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius. For me, it has always also represented the sign of Aquarius, and I'll show you why. It's this way in the traditional tarot too, the Rider-Waite. It's always an angel standing in a pool of water and holding a vessel of water and, like spilling it out. That's the water bearer. That's Aquarius. But according to, practitioners of tarot, Temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius, or other fire sign. There was something I was just about to tell you. Getting back to that, I guess I'm guided to tell you this. So those of you who watch me for a while know that I've known my own divine masculine and all that, like, since the beginning. Like that I was shown that stuff first. But to see if, is this other thing part of my path, I actually did what I do with some of the client readings. If somebody tells me that they're not sure, they have to choose between, is it this, is this person, is it this person, is that person? And I'll do like a quick spread specifically toward that to try to find out which one it is. I did that sort of thing on myself. I just laid 4 cards here for my divine masculine and 4 cards here for the 29-year-old. And I had like, it was the same thing, the same story. Nothing had changed in relation to that. It was like still like sacred union, moon tree, soulmate, and fear. That was the other card. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And then down here, I just had like sorrow and like this, like it's not this guy, So that's a temptation. It's to throw you off track. Now, it's still not to say that if you come across that in your life that you, are not meant to further investigate the situation. We get guided every week to look further into opportunities with which we're presented, So I guess that was my way of doing that, at least in part. But, I would think that everybody is guided to. And we're searching ultimately for restoral to wholeness and to healing. And that's what this card, Temperance, our overall energy this week is about. Masculine, the Ace of Earth, maybe a Virgo. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. Ace of Earth is a divine new blessing coming the masculine's way. I'm very happy to see that there for him. Here is some more Earth, though. I was joking, but if this keeps on coming, maybe I will reveal some more. So Major Arcana card number 5, or Unity in this deck, is the High Priest, or the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So this can actually, this divine new blessing for the masculine can very easily be a relationship, a marriage even, or some other kind of contract, maybe a new business. He's signing some sort of documents, important contracts. Maybe he's going to school. Or he's getting some sort of grant, scholarship or something, like it's coming with money to go to school, something lucrative. In his subconscious, it's the Ace of Water. So again, something that's going to bring him immense joy. Falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. That's what this Ace of Earth could represent as well. This can be a material possession like a home, but something that's going to bring him tremendous joy, happiness, and it's of great value. Whether it's a relationship or it is a material possession, it's of great value to him. Worth. For the feminine, very nice. The 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. So like just appreciating what you have and who you have and who's surrounding you. And speaking of surrounding the feminine is the Emperor with Archangel Michael. So our I had stopped to do that talking while on the Empress, and now we have the Emperor. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. The Emperor represents for me the planet Mars and the signs Aries and Scorpio, which it rules. This can also be like an authority, somebody's father, similar to how I said the Empress can be one's mother, or reflect yourself as a mother and a nurturer and a giver. This can say the same about the masculine. This can reflect his father, or a father, the feminine's father, or a father figure, the masculine as the father, or of the household, the daddy, the leader. And it can reflect his, attractiveness in this sense, and his virility too, and fertility and all of that as well. Aggressive protective nature and all of these things. In the feminine subconscious, the 8 of water, desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth, not wanting to stay stuck in the same old energy, whatever that means for you. This is the general reading, so not necessarily connected to love. It can be connected to some other important foundation in your life, maybe the same job. Maybe this emperor represents your boss or something. This represents some other money that is incoming. You're getting a lump sum of money for something, maybe some sort of settlement, or you can afford to maybe quit the job and go look for another one, maybe move somewhere else, a desire to move on. Maybe it's literal moving, like a new home. They have the 8 of water mirroring the ace of water and mirroring the ace of earth as well. Crowning the king of water, trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured, is the king of water. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity worker, which again to me is love at the root. Very nice. The 6 of water sitting here next to the ace of water. It can mean 2 things. It can mean like the birth of a baby. That's for one, right? A brand new like blessing regarding children, a baby, a happy new family. Maybe that's why we're moving into a new home, or we're moving into a new relationship, a new commitment, and making a family together. It can be that. It can also be reconciliation. Ace of water can absolutely mean reunion and reconciliation. Sitting here with the 6 of water, which can represent not only things going on with children, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. This is also a past life relationship and or, soulmate card of the tarot. So sitting here with the ace of water, this is a soulmate returning to your life or coming into your life brand new. At the heart of the matter, the king of earth. So that's why I was saying, like, this Virgo, for some, yeah, I know people like to use, or earth sign. He might not be a Virgo, but an earth sign possibly. Because I've seen other earth signs too, but the majority has been Virgo. In any case, this person that's coming into your life, we've come to use like karmic as a derogatory term, but that's not what it means. It means of the universe, part of the divine plan, part of the destiny, part of the fate. And for some of you, that's what it is. And you're meant to look into the opportunity. It's going to be lucrative. It's an important part of your life where you could learn something. Like the Hierophant can reflect, college, higher institutions, teacher, education. You could learn something. It could be part of your life lessons, important life lessons, positive ones, divine blessings. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the king of earth. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. See, that's what I'm saying. You have the Midas touch. I'm going to further clarify these with more tarot cards. Last week, the masculine had 2 lovers cards in this, one atop the other in his subconscious. He was thinking, for some of you, hopefully he moved forward and, and acted upon that. I'm going to begin. I began with these cards with the ace of air, ace of winter. I'm beginning with this deck with the queen of winter, who's experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. That can also be what the Hierophant is about. And maybe when you move away from people who bring you drama, that's what brings you joy. Because the Hierophant can be about with whom and what we surround ourselves, our surroundings, period, the area, the place, the neighborhood, the friends, the family members, whomever's around us. If it's something that will lower our vibration, we're guided to get away from it, regardless of who, it is or what it is and what it's supposed to mean to us, right? Because we value ourselves more and our life and our vibration and moving forward, all right, moving ahead. And so we remove these things from our life, regardless of, how we're connected to them. We cut them off in the interest of personal joy, not in a selfish way, in a healthy way. We break away from toxicity and low vibration entities. Okay. And that brings us joy. It's time to kick back, relax, and celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy family life, you know, or a really awesome relationship. The Four of Spring can be about marriage and commitment, moving in together into the same home, which cannot, you know, absolutely be what this is about too. Four of Spring. Opening to the Princess of Summer, who's sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. This is the Pisces for me, but of course it can be a Cancer or a Scorpio too, or anybody, you know, these likened to these traits or attributes, or making some sort of offer of love. Pages bring news and make offers. That's what the Princess of Summer, a Page of Summer, brings offers of love and emotion. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. Like somebody can ask you out on a date or something. Whatever it is, it's going to bring you joy. Princess of Summer. And again, for some, it can absolutely be not just joy, but a bundle of joy this week. Ace of Water, Six of Water, Emperor, Empress, crowned by this happiness, divine new blessing, happy family, maybe signing papers, maybe a birth certificate, you know? Yeah. And opening to the Wheel, okay? It just keeps getting more awesome. This represents the sign of, well, directly Sagittarius, like our overall energy of temperance, but also for me, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, the fixed signs. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can move forward and make great progress in, you know, any area. This can be material, this can be finance, this can be love, this can be all the above. It's just awesomeness coming your way. And it may very well be specifically in the area of love or something else that's going to bring you joy. Again, news that's going to make you tremendously happy about moving forward toward abundance. Princess of Summer, and it's the Three of Autumn. It's going to be a party of three involving an earth sign like a Virgo. Oh my goodness. Your most satisfying and profitable career comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. The Three of Autumn is about, it's very much like the Judgment card, Major Arcana card, Judgment, at least as it relates to earnings and work, because it's about abundance that's coming, not only coming our way, but coming our way because we earned it. Nobody's helping us out. Nobody's doing us a favor. You know, you're not kicking me something that I owe you and I got to, you know, kick you back something. None of that. I put in the work to get this and I earned it. So I'm receiving a promotion, a raise, and that kind of promotion, raise, that can be ascension too. I actually heard hot niggas the other day. When I hear Bobby Smurda hot niggas, it always has to do with ascension, particularly for the divine masculine. I heard it Valentine's Day. So there's that too. This promotion can be in that area. It's not necessarily on the 3D plane, although it can translate to that, right? As above, so below. You're getting a promotion or raise from above, you get one down here too, or it's reflected down here as well. Yeah, getting back to those Threes of Autumn, speaking of Valentine's Day, I had another Virgo. My ex is a Virgo, like my first real boyfriend who would actually, I guess, qualify as my quote unquote karmic. And a couple years ago, he got married, and all last year I spent basically having him blocked and different things. Not in an angry way, like we, you know, talked it out, but basically I said, like, you didn't choose me, I didn't choose you. Go be married. Go be married. So he finally did. I hadn't heard from him. Valentine's Day, I get a happy Valentine's Day text from one of his closest friends that, you know, I know also. Because since this was like my first boyfriend, I've known him for like 30 years. So I know friends too for like 30 years. So I'm like, this is interesting. This is weird. And then, but I just responded, thanks, happy Valentine's Day to you too. And then that's on a text on my phone, having nothing to do with my Queen of Swords page. Like 2 days later, I see a friend suggestion of this guy on my Queen of Swords page. We have no friends in common. I'm not on that page or my real one. And he just popped up there. So I said, nope, this is probably the old Virgo sneaking around or having his friend do some sniffing around and sneaking around too. Anyway, that's the kind of thing that can be coming people's way with party of 3 as it relates to specifically an earth sign. For others, it can be some sort of party of 3 situation at work, whether it's romantic or otherwise. It can be some sort of group of 3 working on a project together. It can be some sort of third person who is trying to block your progress and prevent you from doing well at work, prevent you from receiving your promotion, your raise, all that kind of stuff. Princess of Summer, I'll do one more. You have the strength to, conquer these people and these little battles that arise, these little difficulties. You have the strength to prevail in them. True strength is displayed, however, through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. So what they're saying is, if somebody comes to you that maybe has hurt you in the past or whatever, and it's unexpected, you can show them kindness, and that just shows how strong and awesome you are, right? That's the true strength. If you can muster the ability to extend some forgiveness and compassion to somebody that has caused you pain. I'm going to cut on that note. And it's the 6th of autumn, more earth. Your success and prosperity here have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, and to receive a grant or a scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. So yes, this could absolutely be about things like school and somebody doing you not a favor, just an act of kindness. Can be on the street. I loaned some guy on the street my cell phone the other day. It's like that kind of thing. I wasn't getting anything from him. I didn't ask him for anything to pay me. He was going to let me hold his ID. I didn't take it. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Here, take the phone. And if he would have ran off with it, I guess I would have had to report it stolen. I mean, what's the big deal? But he didn't. I just handed him my phone to a stranger. There are many, many different ways to do this. And certainly in relationships, particularly, ones with close friends, family, or romantic partners, we should be able to give and receive freely, without agenda, without distrust, without cords, without manipulation, without strings, all that kind of stuff. If true unconditional love exists between these people. And it's the wheel. Overall energy is the wheel. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. So I hope I made it everything that I was saying clear. There was nothing negative about it. As you can see from the cards, we are meant to investigate different things and see how they may work or not in our life without being, some of you are going to know out of hand. Like, I just don't have it in me to even consider a new job, a new home, a new friends, a new romantic partner, Virgo or otherwise. I don't have it in me. That's going to happen with some. And for others, you might want to say, let me look into this, as the cards guided me to do. And I feel that I can and I should. And see if it brings some sort of positivity into my life, right? Positive change. It may unblock you, unstick you. Because if you've been holding on too tightly, for example, to a divine partnership that's not happening and not materializing the way that you would hope it would be, that may be why. because you're never going to get past that juncture if you continue to hold on, you know, and try to fight against the current, so to speak, and against the universe. Like, as a matter of fact, the 29-year-old said to me the other day, like, don't get in the universe's way. And, you know, he's right. He was right. Masculine, atop the Ace of Earth, release. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. Here's the something new. The something old may be associated or attached to a Scorpio. That's possible. Or the water sign. Release is death in the traditional tarot. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. It can also be releasing the energy and manifestation of broke. That can be what this is about too. Some of us have been holding on to that very tightly too. I'm broke. My family's broke. We've always been broke. And you speak that sort of thing over your life and it becomes your existence and your perpetual existence. It goes on and on and on that way. Some of us need to release that kind of energy to allow for abundance to come in. And that's not only in the areas of money, it applies with love as well. Again, with holding on to something that we need to set free or someone that we need to set free. We are blocking new love from coming in and cycling through and being able to pass both ways in our own life. Atop unity, or the Hierophant, is the High Priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. So maybe you're just supposed to look around at all these possibilities and opportunities and options, maybe. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. The High Priestess is a Gemini or a water sign for me, and is someone who knows sort of like when to hold them and knows when to fold them, as they say, as it relates to poker, and has like a good poker face. You'll share what you're guided to share, and you'll withhold what you're guided to withhold. Atop the Ace of Water, it's the Four of Spring. So this is absolutely, for some, a marriage, a happy home, a new home as in a physical structure, maybe a new job, something that brings you absolute joy, that sort of sets the foundations in your life. And it's coming to you because you've released the old toxic relationship. You've released the old toxic job. You've released the old toxic, friendships and stuff. You've released the old toxic poor relationship that you had with money, your marriage to money, or your marriage to the obsession, with money and material things, and the fear that perpetuates. You've let go of that, and so that allows for this brand new, joyous happening and event in your life. Atop the Ten of Earth, it is the Princess of Summer. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. And you may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. So somebody may finally let go of their fear that's been holding them back from, asking you out or something. And the next thing you know, boom, romantic dinner. Maybe a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Maybe an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Here atop the Emperor, who's in Aries or a Scorpio, or somebody of that very authoritative and maybe even overbearing personality or behavior, is the Two of Winter. Maybe you got to choose between two. Feminine, we've got the options here. We're being presented with options, maybe. Maybe you got to choose Scorpio or Virgo. Which one? Or Pisces or Aries. Which one? Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance, right? You're the High Priestess. We have a 2 mirroring a 2 or an 11-11. Today, on which I am doing this reading again, is an 11-11. Today is 292 or 218 2018 equals 292, or 13, or 4, 11, 11. Another 11, 11 right here. Another 11, 11 right here. Or 4s, again, depending upon how you want to look at them. In the feminine subconscious, atop the 8 of water, the 5 of spring, conflict, jealousy, envy, aggressive, overbearing, Martian energy. Maybe brought on by this emperor and whatever he represents, or whomever he represents. This can also be a struggle in your mind, maybe having difficulty making this decision. This can be your own internal struggle. Do I move on or not? I have a desire to move on, but should I stay behind? Should I keep, fighting for this, or should I try something new? Should I keep fighting for this relationship, or should I try someone new? Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. Crowning atop the King of Water is the King of Water. Warm-hearted, devoted. See? That's when you know the energy is real. And we have this occur all the time in our readings. Warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful, a trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. In that case, or at least to that extent, I may be the King of Water, or King of Summer right now, like giving you this advice and showing you. But you may get some from someone else as well. And again, you may actually be approached by someone who is genuine and who you can trust, the experience, at least to the extent that you take a chance. If you get invited out to dinner, you can feel comfortable saying, yes, I'll go, and seeing how things go, if you're at all, moved to do so. This King of Summer can very easily be a Scorpio or a Pisces, but a Cancer too. At the root, atop the 6 of water, it's the dreamer. You are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. This guides you to start out maybe with a soulmate. Or maybe you're a new parent. Again, having something to do with children, the 6 of water. But this can be about a soulmate or past life relationship. In any case, you are taking a leap of faith. You're going to close your eyes and jump, and you're not going to worry about what other people think or have to say or how it looks or any of that. You're just going to go with the flow. Divine will. Let it be done to me as you say. The Gospel of Luke to Mary. At the heart of the matter, atop the King of Earth, it's the Magician, which also for me represents the sign of Gemini. The Magician having all the elements, as all the mutable signs do. Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo. But Gemini, again, has them times 2. Twins. We each got them identically. So we like double your trouble, double your fun. There's magic in the air, and you can manifest everything you need to be successful. You are also the King of Earth. Remember, the Midas touch. So you're the Magician and King Midas. We cannot go wrong this week. And it doesn't seem like in any area. Finances, material, love. It's all up to you. Your mindset. Are you going to be an optimist, or are you going to be a pessimist? That's up to you. I also pulled out my abundance cards because I felt all this earth energy coming on and all this abundant stuff. And I told you I was guided to maybe talk to you about the earth, as we have done here. So I'm going to begin with clean energy food in my Angels of Abundance Oracle. When you fuel your body with healthful organic diets, you increase your energy levels and the ability to focus. This automatically leads to more efficiency, better ideas, and a higher vibration, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. And opening to employment change, which that can very easily be. Even this can be something. I said this might be somebody's boss. Do I change jobs? I got to do a 2 of winter. I got to make a decision here. I'm fighting with myself. I don't know. But this job up here is going to bring me not only the money that I've been looking for, 10 of earth, but emotional happiness. maybe I do change jobs. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you to release the old and to welcome the new. You're being supported each step of the way. Maybe your new boss, whether he's a boss at your job or he's your boss, like as in your boyfriend or whatever in your relationship, maybe he's a vegetarian or vegan and he can help to guide you on that path. Back to employment change and opening to do the work. It's not enough to dream or to pray. You've also got to take positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to take. This is what I was just talking about, right? Just following the guidance of the universe. Inshallah, right? God's will. Consistently working on your priorities will help them to flourish like a lush flower garden. Employment change and one more, quiet retreat. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. This is more earth energy, more spending time in nature, connecting to Venus, Mother Nature, Gaia, however you want to look at it. Employment change. I'm going to cut. Take a divinely guided chance. That's the divinely guided chance right there. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you're ready to follow your divine guidance into new territories as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you. Okay, I talked a lot about that. I said, even if it's family, it's friends, it's a job you're used to, you've been there forever, it's a relationship you've been in forever, it's your divine partner, it's whatever. Because I also had posted that February of last year, and I shared it as a memory February of this year, that we have to be willing to let go of anything and everything and everyone, including the divine partner. I shared it again, and I just talked about that. So I think that that's important this week too. We got to keep that in mind. Again, if you love someone, set them free, as Sting says. Take a divinely guided chance. That's going to be the case for some, not for all. I'm not telling everybody to go home and break up with it. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying follow what the universe tells you to do on an individual basis. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities, okay? Overall energy is cooperation instead of competition. Don't hate, congratulate. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, and there's enough abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance. You are the magician and the king of earth, okay? There's enough for you and for you to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Cooperative partnerships, 29, spiritual partnership. A top, release, and the Ace of Earth, release jealousy. So they're guiding us to release something very specific. And I don't think it's a mistake, because I don't believe in those things and coincidences and stuff. It's mirroring where this five of fire, or five of spring in this case, which I said represents for me the planet Mars, which is a ruler of Scorpio. So it's mirroring it here. And this is that aggressive, overbearing, emperor-like, perhaps, Martian energy that can actually, absolutely be this sort of, maybe even in a sense narcissistic, and like I said, overbearing and jealous and envious and conflicting and just full of drama and not wanting you to succeed, not really your friend and not really somebody who loves you unconditionally, that has their own crap to work through, to reach that. This is like, again, yeah, don't hate, congratulate. I'm noticing now we have a couple here too, because this card is called Unity in this deck. It didn't click with me before. But like I said, Unity is the high priest, right? Or the Hierophant. We have the high priest and the high priestess sitting here. The high priest guides us to perhaps do the work. This can be connected to career, to school. So to doing the studying that we need to do in order to be able to do the work and to sign the contracts and the paperwork, to act only when we're guided to in terms of doing the work. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to take. I just said that. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. And very nice. Atop the Ace of Water and the Four of Spring is employment change. So like I said, this could be a new job, a new relationship. They say employment, maybe you're just getting a new boss, if you know what I mean. It doesn't have to actually be a job. It can be certainly still a relationship. Or maybe you're getting a new title. Again, as a parent, you've had a baby or you're having a baby. The employment change or the new job title is mom, is dad. Your career path is leading you into a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you to release the old and to welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. Atop the Princess of Summer, very nice. And the Ten of Earth, which is about like happy family and just happiness overall, abundance in all areas, and an offer of love with the Page of Summer, partnership. Okay, it's an offer of love, actually. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships, 29, into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You're receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. Again, I attribute this stuff to abundance in all areas, not just work and finances, but love as well. And that's what Venus does too. And while she's in Pisces, she's really mixing it up in all those areas. Windfall of abundance here at the top of the Two of Winter. But I'm sure it has to do with making the right choice with regard to our foundations. What are you going to do? An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, as I was just saying. Some of them are unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. And atop this Five of Spring and the drama and whatnot, and the wanting to move away from it or move on to something better and get beyond energy like this that is stagnant and maybe hurtful and harmful. No more complaining. Let's just walk away from it. Let's stop talking about it and be about it. Complaints and affirmations of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. Complaints are affirmations, rather, of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. You don't have somebody manipulating you and pulling you by strings. You don't have to. If you do, you allow it. You don't have to allow it. Get your freedom back. Pull an Aquarius, okay? Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. Why? Because your thoughts and what you speak over your life becomes your reality. That's why. Atop the Kings of Water, the two Kings of Water that we have here. Very nice. Clearing debts. Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. So this can certainly be tied to emotional debt. These two Kings of Water, we could be completely wrapped up in something or someone, that's like taking over all of our emotions and draining us. Maybe to an actual King of Summer. Maybe that's who we need to release. Sitting here next to release or death. Maybe we need to let go, or at least loosen the reins, right? Stop with the hoarding, that Four of Earth kind of energy, just grabbing on so tightly onto something. Release it. If it comes back, it's yours, or Some people say it never was. If it doesn't, I don't know about all that. It just might not be anymore, right? Not everything or everyone is meant to remain in our lives forever. Some people are just there for as a season, as they say. And it can be even this. There's supposed to be so much trust in the universe that you go with the flow and do what it guides you to do, regardless. Remembering that you're on your own individual path. You're not here to make moves and go through motions based on somebody else's path. So you could be releasing that and letting go of that tight grip and hold that we have on someone or something, and removing that heavy burden. Walking away from a party of 3 maybe. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing the topic, right? And making a plan to clear present obligations and to avoid future ones as well. For some, this is actual debts. It's not emotional, it's financial. And you're, maybe because of, let's say, tax season here in the United States, you're getting a refund or whatever, you're using that to pay off your debts, or this other abundance that's coming in from wherever and however it is coming in. Maybe you're an actual Aquarian and you got the new moon Aquarius behind you. So even though the sun is leaving your sign, and today's the last day, happy birthday to the last of the Aquarians, even though that's happening, you have, the moon at your back still, and the energy of the solar eclipse still propelling you forward in the areas of finance and stuff. And Venus and Pisces helping you with that as well. So maybe that's what it is. You're paying off your bills. And that doesn't only have to be Aquarians, of course. That could be anybody. I was just making an example. At the root here, atop the dreamer and the 6 of water, deservingness. You are a beloved child of God. Remember, 6 of water can have to do with children. So this could be, we are the children, in fact, that the 6 is referring to in this case. You're a beloved child of God like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus upon your divine life purpose, even if you can't recognize your lovable qualities. Trust that God and the angels can see how amazing you truly are. And so they gift you something, and then you further trust them and follow, the directions they tell you to take. Again, regardless of what they are. And stop fighting that. At the heart of the matter, atop the magician and the king of earth, focus on your priorities. Exactly. Again, not somebody else's path, somebody else's priorities, yours. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling to you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them some time and attention, and the time and attention that they deserve and that you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you to feel better and more confident. So maybe each day you exercise for 20 minutes. Right? That's a small amount of time devoted perhaps to a priority in your life, getting healthier, losing weight or whatever. I'm probably using that example because it's one of mine. And then, it builds up. It's like a priority bank. We start to store it. It's another partnership I have with the 29-year-old. I was calling him Trainer Bay the other day because it's like somebody to remind you, say, why don't you do some of the stuff you've been wanting to do, exercise and all that kind of thing. You know what? That's a good idea. That's a partnership. Okay, so with that, anything particular I need to recap? There was something here. Oh, the couple, yeah, that was calling to me again. So this one can really relate to relationships and this do the work because there is a couple sitting here on the table, even though this is the general reading. Again, the high priest and the high priestess sitting here one atop the other and crossing 2 kings of water can absolutely be about a relationship. Do the work necessary for your relationship, whether that means walking toward it or walking away from it, either temporarily or for good. It's not enough to just dream or pray about it. You also got to take the positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will help to make them flourish like a lush flower garden. And they will grow like earth. Maybe you're being moved toward This is earth and air. This is Taurus. But if you connect it further to Venus, then it's Taurus and Libra and Gemini. And then this is Gemini for me again, because of the High Priestess and the number 2, the duality, all that kind of stuff. But also it's connected to water signs traditionally. So air and water and air and earth here. Or what seems to be the party of 3 I've been talking about the whole time. Yeah, so do the work. This can actually be, again, romance or business, as can clearing away the debts. Really, all of this can be, and all of this stuff can go either way. And I'll come back with love to just find out what is specifically only about love. So further to that, the masculine's advice. Have you asked your angels for help with this, for getting out of or into whatever situation it is you would like to? Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So call upon them if you'd like their help, or upon whatever support system you believe in, what you believe, call upon that. Manifestation power to the feminine, more magician. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. Just put it out there. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Oh. Masculine, page of air, who is logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. The page of air is a Gemini, likely, at least as far as I'm concerned, but can also be, of course, an Aquarius or Libra, anybody likened to those traits or attributes. Maybe somebody who is dropping a truth bomb on you, or maybe you are the deliverer of the truth bomb. You're going to take on the energy of the page of air. Also, this can be a reflective of a delay. You didn't do the work. You didn't take the action you were guided to take. So you have to wait for that, train to come back around and give you your next chance. If you're delayed in the meantime, it can mean all those kind of things. Feminine, our advice from the angels. 9 of air, stop your worrying. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Manifesting. Yeah, using the power of the magician to manifest, but using it to manifest negativity into your own life. No bueno. Focus on positive things. Again, do you want to be an optimist or you want to be a pessimist? That choice is yours. But if you choose to be optimistic and positive and, look at the bright side of situations, you can get rid of this energy here. Masculine, another high priest or hierophant for you. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. Okay, ascension. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher. Okay, I talked about teacher, experience. Even find a new teacher can be a new woman, the same way a new boss for us can be a new man, or vice versa. I mean masculine and feminine. I don't really necessarily mean male or female, man or woman. Again, gender neutral. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. This is about your surroundings, with whom you surround yourself, where, with what you surround yourself. Maybe it's time you changed it. You walk toward or away from a situation. Feminine, things are going to get better. Maybe with an air sign. 6 of winter, or maybe 4 an air sign, maybe you're the air sign. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can now breathe a sigh of relief. Let go of the past and embrace the happier times ahead. This can be about travel, this card. And with the water here, this can really be, at least right now, reflective of Venus in Pisces. Right? This air in water, literally in water. And from the abundance deck to the masculine, it's safe for you to receive. The more that you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and to be a conduit for good that's coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. Beautiful. That may be connected to this, right? You're being a conduit, you're being a mentor, you're being a teacher, you're, helping to educate people on how to share through your love and your actions and your life, the way you walk your walk. Other people are watching. People are learning from you. Younger people, people that aren't as familiar with what you're doing, people that are, like drawn to your light and impressed by you. They're watching and looking for a good example. Lastly, feminine. Release resentment about money. Yes, the money system of the world can seem upsetting, but holding on to resentments about finances just pushes your abundance away. Instead, see money as a tool that you can use, and you can use it to better the world, right? Not just yourself. And this shift will help you to attract and the support and golden opportunities that you need and seek. I hope that you guys enjoy this reading. I will be back with love. Again, happy birthday to the last of the Aquarians. And happy birthday to the coming Pisces. Namaste, angels.
My feet won't touch the ground.